Good morning, guys, and welcome to Saturday with Us. My name is Tito,
And I'm Melanie.
and we're going to be hosting today's show that is going to be a lot of fun. We have a very special guest, as we have every weekend. That's going to be bringing some fun stuff for us to learn about them that you might not know that they do.
That's right. So today's special guest, ready? Drum roll. I think it is Abby. Hi, Abby.
Hey everyone. Hi. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope we're gonna enjoy the rest of this. I'm really excited to share with you guys what my hobbies are and my interests.
Awesome, Abby. So before we continue into our questions, we're going to take a little break here, and we're going to go into our fun fact video, and we'll come back with questions for you.
We'll be right back.
Awesome.
Hi guys, it's Jaslyn with Fun Facts with Us. Today we'll be talking about giraffes. Did you guys know that giraffes are the tallest mammals on Earth? Their legs alone are taller than many humans, about 6 feet. Giraffes spend most of their lives standing up. They even sleep standing up. They only need about 5 to 30 minutes of sleep in a 24-hour period. And they often achieve that in quick naps that may only last a minute or two at a time. A giraffe's spots are much like human fingerprints. No two individual giraffes have exactly the same pattern. And boy, do these have an appetite. They spend most of their time eating and can guzzle up to 45 kilograms of leaves and twigs a day. So these were the fun facts for today. I'll catch you guys next week. Bye!
Who knew that giraffes were that interesting, right? There's so many different things and so many purposes of why they have such a long neck and what they do. The craziest thing is that they can go so long without sleeping.
Yeah.
I definitely can't do that, And I need a full 7 to 8 hours sleep, not just 20 minutes. So that's pretty cool. So before we jump into the questions with Abby really quickly, we want to give you guys a quick recap of what we did last week. Right. So last week we had Pastora Angie on the show, and she did an awesome job talking about her hobbies, which was reading. She likes to cook. She likes to listen to music, and she likes to bake. For those of you kids that were there on Sunday, you actually got to taste the muffins that she made on the show, and I heard a lot of the kids saying that they were really good.
Yep.
So thank you, Pastora Angie, for being our guest and also for providing those muffins for the kids. So now we would like to jump into the questions with Abby.
Hey, Abby, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
All right, perfect. So why don't you tell us just a little bit, very briefly, what are you going to be talking about today? What hobbies are you going to be talking about today?
Cool. Well, I have a couple here. First, we're going to be talking about how I played the drums and also how I do drumline at school. So there's drum at church, and then there's drumline for school. And then I'm also going to be talking about how I restore and customize some of the shoes that I have.
That's awesome. So, Abby, we'll start off then with the playing of the drums. So you do 2 different types of drum playing, which you mentioned is the drum line and at church. So let's start off with church. When did you start playing the drums at church? How did that all happen?
Yeah, so for those of you who knew us in the beginning of the church, I was actually a dancer for like 6 years. And then, for actually our anniversary is coming up. So in November, it will actually be 6 years of playing the drums.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
so
nice.
it kind of just happened. Like I saw Tony up there on the drums and I was really interested, and I would take a pair of sticks and I would just hit whatever, not knowing like at all what I was hitting. So, and then from there I had asked my mom if I could play the drums, and then Tony taught me, and here I am today, almost 6 years playing the drums.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So now you hit the drums with purpose. Now you know what
Yes.
you're doing when you're.
Now I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
All right. So we know, right, that you play the drums at church, like many other. You taught a lot of other kids too to play drums at church.
Yeah.
Now, when you play the drums at church, what would you say is your favorite song to play at church on the drums?
Oh boy, my favorite song. Well, there's a couple at youth that we play.
Okay.
There's one called Alive by Kim Walker, and it's a fast song, and so in the middle of the song it kind of just changes the rhythm of it, which I think is really cool, and it's like super fun to play.
Awesome. And so Melanie mentioned that you have taught a couple kids to play the drums. So thank you for that, because that's awesome that you've been able to you learned from Tony, and now you're able to take what you learn and teach it to other kids. So like Alan, Elias, Gordo, Hector learned how to play, and they're all pretty awesome at it too, which is fantastic that everybody has been able to learn. Those three have been able to learn from what you learned from Pastor Tony. So that's awesome.
And now you're saying that it's so awesome because they look up to you. They have so much respect for you. You know, when they're in class, you know, they're always talking about drums.
Yeah.
Alan is always with either, it could be just his fingers, it could be sticks that he may have with him, and he's always playing. But they really look up to you. So thank you for now you being the teacher for the kids.
Yeah, it's a really awesome opportunity to be able to teach those kids and be able to see them grow and how well they improve from playing. So I think it's one of like my favorite things to do at the church, because I love to see them just grow up and, you know, be able to play their own songs with their own style.
Yeah. That's really cool. That's awesome. So now we're going to talk about drumline. So you play the drums also on the drumline. So talk to us a little bit about what's the difference there between church drums and the drumline.
Yeah. So the church drums, if some of you have seen already, it's like an actual drum set with like cymbals, toms, and you're sitting in a chair.
Okay.
And then for drumline, we actually have we have harnesses that we wear, and the drum kind of sits like on our bodies, and then we have to play with them just like that. So for marching band, it's basically just a marching drum. It allows you to walk, and it allows you to move around the football field and still play at the same time, which is really hard because the drum is also kind of heavy. For my first 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year, I was actually a bass drum. So it's going to be like this really big round thing that's right here. And then from there, my junior and this year, senior year, I'm actually a snare player, which is what I actually wanted to go for, what I was trying to reach for the goals. So I did that. And so that's the difference between those two.
Okay. So a question that I have, because I've seen a movie out there that is called Drumline. I've seen different videos, you know, like when I watch college football and things, you see the bands. How many participants are there at your school's band?
Well, are we talking about drumline in general or like the whole band?
So the whole band.
The whole band. Okay, there has to be at least maybe over 100 some kids playing in one field, because Warren Township High School is a generally like big school. So what they used to do is that everybody in band had to do marching band, and that was like 300 plus kids. So then they had to change it. So the curriculum was you can volunteer to do competition marching band, and so that just kind of lowered the number, and then it became like 100 something people on the field, which is still a lot. So we compete for state. We compete in a division where it's mostly generally like a high number of people attending that high school.
Okay, I see. Wow, that's a lot of people. And the reason I ask it is because in the videos and the games and stuff, you do see a ton of band members. It's crazy how many people there is, and it's really cool. It sounds so cool how everybody's so synchronized. I bet it takes a lot of practice and a lot of hard work, right?
And just to be able to it takes a lot of practice, but you have to understand too that it also takes a lot of effort from yourself, because even if one person is off, you can still tell like if somebody wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. So it's nice that we were all able to like practice enough to be able to get into sync and be able to perform and, you know, do certain shapes on the football field that look cool. So it's really fun.
Yeah. That's awesome. So Abby, you mentioned that you had like a practice snare drum or something in your sticks. You mind showing that to the kids so they can get an idea of what that looks like?
Yeah, so I have this one right here. I actually customized it on a website on Zymox because they make really good practice pads, and you can't hear it so much right now, but I mean it has the feel and like the sound of an actual snare. And then
that's awesome.
These are my special drumline sticks.
Nice.
We use them these are our show sticks, so we use them only when we're playing show. If we're practicing, we have different ones because the ones we use for practice, they don't get they get beat up more. So the sticks and like the little wood parts, they start to come out, and then they don't look nice.
Yeah.
So that's why we also tape them so they look fancier, and then we get more points for that.
Okay. So you just want to make sure that your sticks are looking good at the other show.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
That's awesome. So when it comes to like the practicing the snare drum, how much time do you spend like practicing? Like on an average, how many hours do you spend practicing? Right.
So on a normal sort of setting, because I know that the pandemic kind of hit us hard, so we're playing a little bit more easier material right now, so it wouldn't take as much time. But I'd say during the regular season with like regular competitions, it would have to be at least, the minimum requirement is at least 30 minutes a day.
Okay.
So and then you don't always want to meet the minimum requirements though, right? So you can do 45 to an hour, and that's every day until you actually get to the rehearsal. And then the day after rehearsal, you start over again.
Oh, okay. That's really cool.
So we also know that you play other instruments at church, right? Is that correct?
I do, yes. Yeah, so I also play a little bit of guitar. I'm working on getting on the stage up there one of these days to actually play the guitar. And then I also play piano, which I've done before too.
Yeah.
And then we also had a challenge this like for the next couple months to play a new instrument. So soon I will actually be learning how to play the bass.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
So, and music and instruments is your thing. You're just
definitely.
learning as much as you can.
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
awesome,
I love
Abby.
All right. Is there anything that you might want to play for us, whether it's a guitar or your little drum thing there, snare drum there?
I can go ahead and play something that there was like a small solo that we had in one of our marching bands.
Okay, go for it, Abby.
So you'll be able to hear it, and then you'll be able to see my sticks move. I don't know if you can see it or not. All right. And that was the actual like whole solo of us. So it was just the snare drums, and then we also could like include some visuals in there where we heighten up our sticks or we do something fancy with the sticks.
That's awesome, yeah. I love to see like when that's happening. Like you see people flipping their stick or throwing it up and catching it and continue to play.
I've seen people
really
like
awesome.
also add like water to the snare drum, so when you guys play with the sticks, everywhere. I've seen that too.
Yeah, so just so you can like get a better feel of it, I can actually play it again for you guys. You can actually see.
Okay. Oh, okay, perfect.
There you go.
Perfect. I like it. That's awesome. That's cool. There's a lot of quickness in there too when you're playing. So
yeah,
really
definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a little tricky, but once you keep practicing, you get the hang of it.
You get to it.
Alrighty. So Abby, we're gonna take a quick pause because we have our fun activities coming up by Jeanne that we're gonna show the kids. So enjoy the video, kids. We'll come back with Abby with some more questions.
Hey kids, it's Jeanne with Activities with Us. For this activity you're gonna need vinegar, baking soda, a plastic bottle, a plastic spoon, some balloons, some tape, scissors, and a piece of paper. So first you're gonna take your paper, take a piece of tape, and we're gonna roll it up to make a funnel. Then you're gonna take your plastic water bottle and your funnel and add some vinegar to the bottle. You're gonna wanna add to about this section right here. Then you're gonna take a balloon, and it has to be white. I forgot to mention that, but the balloon has to be white so you can see it. And then you're gonna start to stretch it out. So you might need help for this step. You're gonna wanna stretch it open, the balloon, to the base of the balloon, the top, and you're gonna wanna put a spoon or two of baking soda. You're gonna wanna make sure to shake it a little bit to get the excess off. And then you can put that to the side. Then you're gonna put away your baking soda and you're gonna clean up whatever little baking soda you left. Then you're going to take your water bottle and you're going to put this balloon onto the water bottle. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to strap the balloon on without spilling any of the baking soda in it yet. So like this, so that it doesn't start the reaction yet. And then once it's done, you can go ahead and put it in. Pretty. And that's it for this week's activity, guys. See you next time.
Cheyenne, for that activity video. That was so awesome.
Yep.
We hope that you guys, that your kids try it out. Obviously with an adult present. If you guys need help, that was such an awesome video.
Yeah, it was so simple, but just so cool.
Yeah.
How the reaction that you get that by adding baking soda and vinegar, a balloon will inflate. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So kids, again, I hope you guys try that out.
So now, Abby, we know that you have another hobby that you mentioned that you want to talk about, and that's that has to do with shoes. So Abby, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do with shoes?
Yeah, so I actually for customizing shoes, I take like a blank shoe, so it would be all white, and then I would, kind of just like use a certain it's like a leather paint for shoes that I would use,
Okay.
and then you kind of just paint whatever little designs on it that you want, whatever you want to do. And then for restorations, I take like beaten up shoes, and then I actually I clean them, and then if the paint is like worn, I have to take the paint off, and then I have to put a new coat of paint. So there's a lot of little like details that you need to work on a shoe to make it look almost brand new.
That's awesome. And Abby, how did you get into this hobby?
Yeah.
What was it that sparked the interest in customizing and restoring shoes?
Yeah, so I about a year ago, maybe a little bit more than a year ago, I was just scrolling through YouTube, right? And just a typical day. I was kind of bored, so I was looking through YouTube, and then there was this guy that came up. His name is Vic Almighty, and he does his YouTube videos on a channel called Reshoevinator. So I looked at him, and he took a full white shoe and made it into like an Iron Man themed shoe. So he
awesome.
like drilled into the shoe to put some lights in there, and it was crazy. So I started to look more through his videos, and I was like, this actually might be easy. This actually might be easy, like an easy thing to do. And then I also saw that he restored shoes too. So one day we were just walking through the thrift store with my mom, because that's a good place to be to find old, good shoes. And I found a pair of like beaten up Jordans that would actually, if you look up the price and if you restore them well enough, you can actually like profit off of it. So I saw them at the thrift store, and then immediately I told him, I was like, let's get these. I can work on these, and then we can sell them. So I actually have them still upstairs right now. Those were the ones that I never finished before. But I, because there's still a couple more things to do on it. But so we bought those, and then we bought a couple other ones that I was able to like refurbish, and then I'll be able to sell in the future.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
That's awesome.
So when it comes to the customizing of it, what have been some customizations that you've done to some shoes? I know that your dad has a pair of shoes that you've customized. So what other things have you customized that you can share, like what you've done, like what you've written or what colors you've incorporated to some shoes, what you've done and with those customizations?
Yeah, so I actually have a couple right here. I have two of one of my favorite ones. They're definitely top two at least.
Okay.
So these ones I made for me. You can kind of see maybe in the camera there that the shoelace, it goes around and it's kind of like strangling or wrapped around the swoosh, which I thought was a really cool idea, and I kind of wanted to put that on somewhere, I guess, because you can customize shoes, but you can I also do phone cases, and you can also do Apple Watch bands that I'm working on too. So there's a couple of other things that you can try it on. So these ones, I made these for me. So they're actually my favorite, and I wear them pretty often. And then this one was sort of like a little collaboration. So Jeanne had actually come to me. She had spray painted these. It was like a pink and then a yellow. And then she was like, well, I don't know what to do with them anymore. So she gave them to me. And then I just mostly did like all the black areas, kind of painting the inside black. These, and then so what we have here is mountains right on the side. Then we have trees, and then we have the Chicago skyline cityscape going around the shoe. And so it kind of just formed into
awesome.
Yeah, and so I've never actually worn them, I think, but I don't have like an outfit put together for them. But I think it's definitely one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites. One that it didn't take too long and it still came out looking really, really great.
Those are really cool.
That's awesome. Just the detail that's on the designs of the shoe, that it's just awesome. The details that there is there.
Yeah. So when it comes to the restoration piece of it, you mentioned that like you clean them up, you make them look better, right? Is there let's say like if I want to restore a car, like I can go to the store and buy a part for that car to restore it. With shoes, I'm guessing that it's not like that, right? Like you have to make sure that you're making everything look better. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna go buy the sole of the shoe again and just put it back on there, right? Like you have to work with what you have.
Right. So, just like a car shop, I guess if you wanted to replace a sole on a shoe, you could buy it, but there's tricky places to buy it. And then you have to figure out like the year and the model of the shoe. And then it's not something that you can just kind of like glue on there. There's like a special kind of glue, and then you have to like heat it so it can just like press together nicely. And so just like if you were taking your car to a car shop, there's like a process. So it is doable, but it is really, really tricky. And somebody would need to know how to actually do it professionally rather than somebody who just, took a stick of glue, stuck it on there and just slapped it on the shoe like that.
Yeah, so you can't use Elmer's glue to glue a shoe together. No, but that's cool because I didn't even think of that being an option, that you could go out and buy like different parts of the shoe or something like that. Like I didn't think that would be. I mean, obviously like shoelaces, like you see shoelaces everywhere, but like I didn't think that you can do the other aspects of it. So that's really cool.
Yeah. So I do see some other shoes behind you that they look awesome too. So I'm guessing you really like shoes too, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I really, really do like shoes.
Is there a pair of shoes that you have that you can say are your favorite?
Yeah, actually these ones I got for Christmas, I think last year. And so these are Jordan 13s, and then their colorway is Island Green. So that's what this is right here, is an Island Green colorway. So I got those for Christmas, and I was completely surprised because I did not think I was going to get Jordans for Christmas. So I worn those a couple times. I don't wear them often because I get scared that I'm going to dirty them. So they're usually for like more special occasions, or like you just like put a nice outfit together and like, oh, I'm going to wear my Jordans because they match today.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, those are really nice. Those
Yeah,
Jordans
really
are
nice.
nice.
I love the color. It's just
Exactly,
a nice blue.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's a different type of blue. You know what I'm saying? Like it's unique in a sense.
Color, yes.
But they're really nice. Jordans have a number of really nice shoes. As we all know. So Abby, we want to go ahead and thank you for your time today.
Yes.
It was awesome getting to know a little bit more of what the difference of what drumming at church looks like and what it looks like in the drum line, being able to hear a little bit about how you play that and showing your snare drum, and just learning a bit about the band. You gave us a huge number of how many participants are in a band, which is just still kind of mind-blowing for me. And then we were able to see what you do with shoes. So that's really cool. So I actually want to take a moment and put in like a little commercial for you. Kids or anybody that's watching, if you need some shoes to be restored or you would like them to be customized, reach out to Abby, and Abby can help you in that department. All right.
She does an awesome job, so just reach out to her.
Yeah. Any ideas that you might have, talk to Abby, and she will work to make it real for you, to make it your dream come true.
Yeah, definitely.
So Abby, any final words for our guests today? For our listeners, my bad, today.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, thank you guys for giving me this opportunity to share my hobbies and interests. I've not been wanting to do this for a while, so to be able actually to do it and to share all the things that I love with everybody out there, it's just a really great opportunity. So thank you guys, and thank you for everybody who was watching.
Awesome, yes, Abby. Thank you so much. Bye, Abby.
Bye, Abby.
Bye.
All right, kids. So thank you so much for joining today. We really appreciate you guys joining in.
Mm-hmm.
Before we close out today, we do have some very important information for you guys.
Yep.
So stay tuned, stay here so that we can share that news, those important information with you, okay?
Yeah.
So first, is we want to remind you guys that next week, Saturday, we are going apple picking, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow at church, we're going to be giving more information, but just so you know, we're going to be meeting at church at 9 in the morning so that we can all, in our individual cars, go together to the orchard where we are going to pick apples, okay?
Yeah, so like Melanie said, we're going to meet at 9, so leave by 9:30, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Those of you guys that have joined us in the past, we have a lot of fun. Last year, we had about 100 something people. I went over a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit over 100.
And so we would like to have that happen again this year. So far, by the list that we have about 51 people. 51. So we're halfway there. So we could get there. We got this. We would love you guys to join us. The other thing that I want to mention is that this week we are also wearing pink on Sunday.
Yes.
So this Sunday we're wearing pink to show solidarity to the women and to breast cancer that happens throughout the world, right? So I encourage you guys to wear something pink. I definitely will. Melanie definitely will be wearing something pink. And we hope to see you guys at church on Sunday. We love you guys. Thank you guys for joining. And we will see you guys on Sunday.
Yeah. And before we close out, I just want to give another reminder with next week. So because we are going apple picking next week, we won't have Saturday with us live next week because we're going to be at the apple orchard. So next week, instead of being live, we're actually all going to be together with necessary precautions, wearing our masks at all time, picking apples, okay? So just be on the lookout for that. We will give more information tomorrow at church. Don't forget to register for class tomorrow for our 10:30 service, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
All righty. Bye, kids.
Bye, kiddos.
Thank you.